Hey guys, it's Steve with Montana Musings Outdoor Channel, and it's time for the 6/8 Western Full Auto Podcast. So, speaking of full auto, I'm about ready to go full auto on Sportsman's Warehouse. Um, as you probably know, if you've been following me, I tried to get a PH2, Seekins PH2 from them. It's been about 3 weeks ago when I first started. Put in an order, was supposed to be in stock. They couldn't find it, so they canceled my order. Well, and I think I mentioned in the other video that a subscriber made a call down there to see if it was there, and they told me yes, it was. So I went. He told me that it was there, so I called him up, and yep, it's there. So I tried to make that order again, and um, long story short, what happened was they they couldn't find it or something. Something was goofed up with it again, but they sent me a link to be able to reorder it because they did find it finally, obviously. And so I hurried up and did that. But the problem was they put it up as being available online again. And with there being only one gun out there in the world, apparently, um, the two orders came in at the same time, mine and somebody else in Oceanside, California. And when they fulfilled the order in Colorado, they sent it to the other guy. So I didn't end up getting the Seekins. I'll tell you what, it's just been a nightmare. So I'm on the phone with them and talking to a representative that I could barely understand. I have talked to some other representatives that were fine, but this one that I was dealing with couldn't hardly make it. Was hard to understand him. You know how it is. And he's was actually was trying to figure things out. Nothing he did was right. He was going to connect me up with I asked him, I says, well, I want to talk to a supervisor. Well, let me put you on hold. So I was on hold for a couple minutes, and he comes back on, didn't put me through to a supervisor. He says, well, I'm going to connect you up with the store in Oceanside, California. So I hear the phone, it goes to the switchboard, and it's going to another Sportsman's Warehouse. And I can tell it's the one in Missoula because they have this pre-recorded crap on there that tells you where it's at and what they have on sale and all kinds of stuff for a couple minutes before you get to talk to anybody. And so it's the Missoula store calls, and I said, yeah, I told the guy, this is what happened. And he said, well, it's your gun. There's nothing I can do about it. I said, your blank company is the one that has it. I don't have it. So you better figure something out. And so he says, okay, well, I'll see if I can't get a hold of the ones in California and talk to them. And so I basically just hung up, and he was going to get back to me. Well, it wasn't maybe 5 minutes later. I get an email that says I've been refunded. So apparently that gun has already been sold. And then I get a call from a gal from customer service, and she's all nicey and, oh yeah, we'll give you a 10% discount on your next your replacement firearm purchase. And she said, and or $50 depending on how much or something. But anyway, that even sounded kind of fishy. So I called them back today. This all happened last night, and I called them back today, and I said, as much BS as I've gone through with this thing, I want a hard copy of this supposed discount that I'm going to get. And he says, okay, yeah, I can do that. So they get on there, and he gets to his email people, and he comes back. And, yeah, we'll be sending you a link to that. So I get the email. I'm reading through it. It says, cannot be used for ammo, firearms, reloading equipment, stuff like that. So I call him back again, and I says, I was told that I was supposed to be able to use this on a replacement firearm since mine got sold. And they said, well, yeah, your coupon isn't good for that. I said, I know that. I read it. And so he puts me on hold. He's going to talk to somebody again. And he comes back and he says, well, if you buy a Sportsman's Warehouse credit card, or if you get one, you can have that discount that comes with that. And I just like, yeah, I don't want to buy your credit card, or I don't want your credit card. I'm just not going to buy anything from you guys anymore. So that's kind of where it's at. Um, I'm just going to I'll probably end up buying a Browning with the Macmillan stock that are pretty darn nice looking and are very similar to the Seekins as far as looks and ergonomics and all that kind of stuff. So it's the X-Bolt 2 Macmillan Pro long range, I think, is the one I'm leaning towards. If you guys have that, let me know how great it is, or how not great it is. But I'm thinking it's going to be pretty good. And of course, it comes with that big muzzle brake on it that they got, the hog or whatever it's called. But I'll obviously be taking that off and putting a suppressor on it. So anyway, once again, the holy grail of the Seekins PH2 is still out there and unattainable. So I guess I'm just going to have to move on to the next thing and just see if I can get one and go. I'm just going to go through a friend of mine who's an FFL and see if he can't get me something and go from there. So, yep. The only reason I went through Sportsman's is because they're the only ones I could find that had one, and they had one, and I didn't get it. So, that's kind of the story on that. I don't know if you guys got any. I'm not going to pull the trigger on anything yet. I'm going to wait to hear your response. Maybe you guys have maybe a local gun store or something where there might be one. Let me know, and I'll see if I can't figure out a way to get it. But like I say, you might have to settle on Browning, which is not bad at all because I do like that X-Bolt 2 I have, and it's. But I was just thinking about kind of maybe going up one step and just seeing how those sequences were. But in order for me to get one of those, I'd have to choose a different caliber, and that's not going to happen. So anyway, so that's kind of been my week so far. And speaking of Sportsman's Warehouse, I don't know if you guys follow the stock market at all, but I kind of like following gun companies and stuff like that. But if you just happen to search their stock and see how its performance is, this might be a reason why, because it used to be a $10 stock and now it's like $1.35. So things are not going well for them, and I can possibly see why. Their ammunition prices are ridiculous. A box of 6.8 Western ABLRs, I think they advertise them for $68.99, which is absolutely ridiculous. I can get them $10 cheaper at a local. Well, it ain't local, but it's North 40 Outfitters out of Great Falls. They're $10 cheaper than that, and you can probably get them cheaper somewhere else too. But it's yeah. Anyway, I've got a pretty bad taste in my mouth for those guys. So, but I was hoping to have this podcast be the one where I showed off the gun, but that's not going to happen. And I'm super glad that we're only in March, because obviously I have a lot of time to still come up with a plan B and get that thing ready for hunting season. So, and speaking of hunting season, it as of March 1st in Montana, you can start applying for your permits and buying your tags and all that kind of stuff. So, kind of excited. Been going through that, trying to figure out where I want to go, what I want to go after, and but I'm pretty much going to stay in Montana. So that Montana's a big state. There's a lot of opportunity with a long hunting season. We have 3 weeks for the major part of Montana, like east of Highway 89, the eastern stuff usually, except for the Bear Paw Mountains, are 3 weeks, and then everything west is 5 weeks. So that's a pretty long season. So, and I'm right along the eastern slopes there, so I don't have to travel far to have a 5 week season. So only about 14 miles. So yeah, it's all good. Gotta love that. So anyway, that's 6/8 Western stuff. Yeah, this one here is a dandy. I like it. It's not mine anymore. Or I'm still doing some testing with it. I got some stuff loaded up. 155 LRXs loaded up with some Mag Pro. You probably saw that in one of the other videos. Some guys said that was going to be super hot, but it may be. But I got my numbers from Shooter's Reference on 150 grain bullet that was asking for 67.6 grains. So I actually backed that off some, and I'm running these copper 155. So I'm just going to shoot one, see how it does. If there's a lot of pressure or it doesn't look like it's going to be a good deal, I'll just pull them and reload them. So not a big deal. And if they look okay, or it's just, maybe just a little bit of pressure, it's a hunting round. So who cares? It's not like I'm going to be, shooting 50 rounds of that stuff through it. It'll just be taking it out and hopefully one shot meeting the pot. So that's my plan. And I still got those 145s to test too. So, and I'm going to shoot some more of those 130s. I was planning on doing all that stuff that I loaded for this thing out of that 24 or 26 inch barrel. Well, this was a 24-inch barrel on that Seekins. And just, I was hoping to see what velocities I'd get out of that, but I'm going to have to wait and see what I end up with here. So, but anyway, that's probably what I got for you this time for episode number 8. And sure appreciate you guys following me along on this search for the Holy Grail. Might just have to, obviously, I'm going to have to change what I'm going for unless I can come up with another grand and buy an element, because there are those out there. If you are interested, you're searching and you have enough cash in your pocket, the elements there's some of them out there. I've seen a number of them. So anyway, that's what I got for you this time. And hopefully maybe we'll have another gun to show you here next time. And then possibly I can talk about some results if I can get out and do some shooting here. The weather's finally getting good and a little warmer. And of course, then I like having my test loads being about the temperature that I'm going to go hunting. And this is actually pretty close because it's obviously early spring, which is going to match up well with this fall as far as temperatures go. So it's a really good time to test. And I'm hoping to get out there next week and do some, maybe this weekend, but I think it's going to be next week. I got some stuff to do this weekend. So I'm looking forward to doing that next week. And I'll, of course, let you know, probably do a video on that and let you know, you'll be able to see what I get with the 145s and the 155s with that Mag Pro out of this gun. So anyway, that's what I got. And we'll catch you in the next video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe and tell your friends about it, because we'd like to keep this channel growing. And thanks to everybody who helped me along the way trying to get this thing. So we'll catch you in the next video, guys. Have a good one.